Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt that something was wrong, even though everybody around you was smiling? Have you ever wondered why some people seem trapped in the same cycle of failure, fear, and confusion no matter how hard they try to move forward? What if I told you that years ago, I believed there were secret words and symbols that controlled people's minds, not because they had real supernatural power, but because fear itself can become a prison? Stay with me, because what I am about to share changed my life forever. My name is Akosua Mensah, and I am from Kumasi, Ghana. For many years, I lived in darkness. Today, I speak openly because I do not want anyone else to live under fear the way I once did. This is my testimony. I was not born into evil. I was a normal girl. I laughed, played with friends, and dreamed about having a good future. But when I was young, my family struggled with poverty. We often went to bed hungry. I watched my mother cry when there was no money for food. As a child, I kept asking myself one question. Why do some people suffer while others seem to have everything? That question followed me everywhere. One day, an older woman in our neighborhood noticed my curiosity. She always spoke about hidden knowledge. She claimed there were secret ways to gain influence over people. She made it sound powerful and exciting. At first, I was afraid. But fear slowly became fascination. And fascination became involvement. I started spending more time around people who believed they possessed secret wisdom. They talked about codes and hidden words that supposedly gave them power. Looking back now, I realize much of it was psychological manipulation mixed with fear. But back then, I believed every word. They taught us something dangerous. If you can make someone believe they are defeated, many times they will defeat themselves. That was one of the biggest secrets I learned. The real weapon was not magic. The real weapon was fear. I remember one businessman in our town. He owned a small shop and was doing well. People respected him. The group I was involved with became jealous. They did not attack him physically. Instead, they spread rumors. They whispered negative things about him. They created confusion around his name. Within months, customers stopped trusting him. His business suffered. At that time, we celebrated. Today, I am ashamed. I still remember his face. I still remember the pain in his eyes. The worst part is that he never knew where the attacks were coming from. Then there was a young woman named Amma. She was hardworking and kind. Everyone expected her to succeed. Some people around us became envious because opportunities kept finding her. Again, there was no supernatural force. There was manipulation. People filled her mind with discouraging words. They constantly told her she was not good enough. They made her question herself. Little by little, her confidence disappeared. One day she stopped pursuing her dreams. Watching that happen should have broken my heart. Instead, I ignored my conscience. That decision haunted me for years. But the event that changed everything involved a pastor. This pastor was known for helping families. People often came to him when they needed encouragement. Many members of our group hated him because he inspired people to think positively and reject fear. One night, they began planning ways to destroy his reputation. They created false stories. They twisted innocent situations into scandals. They wanted people to stop listening to him. As they spoke, something inside me felt uncomfortable. For the first time, I asked myself, what if we are the problem? That question stayed in my mind. Yet I continued following them. I wish I could say I left immediately. I did not. Sometimes people remain in darkness because they are afraid of losing the only community they know. That was my situation. Months passed. Then something happened that I can never forget. An elderly woman came to our gathering. She was crying. Her son had become terrified because people convinced him that he was cursed. Every setback in his life became proof of that belief. He stopped trying. He stopped working. He isolated himself. The fear consumed him. As I listened to her cry, I realized something shocking. The damage we were causing was real. The fear was real. The suffering was real. Even if the stories and codes people believed in were not what they seemed, the emotional wounds were devastating. That night I could not sleep. For the first time in years, guilt overwhelmed me. I kept hearing the voices of people we had hurt. The businessman, the young woman, the pastor, the frightened son. I felt trapped. I wanted out. But leaving was not easy. The people around me constantly repeated certain phrases. These were the so-called secret codes. Not magical words. Psychological words. Words designed to create fear, confusion, division, and hopelessness. They would say things like, "Nobody can help you. You will never succeed. Your future is finished. Everyone is against you. Why even try?" I know those phrases sound simple, but when people hear them repeatedly, they can start believing them. That is the secret code I came to understand. Negative words repeated often enough can become mental chains. And mental chains can destroy a person's confidence. One day I looked at myself in the mirror. I barely recognized the woman staring back at me. I saw fear. I saw guilt. I saw regret. Most of all, I saw a person who had become the very thing she once feared. I broke down crying. I knew I needed a different path. So I left. Not everybody understood. Some people mocked me. Others warned me that terrible things would happen if I walked away. But I continued. The first weeks were difficult. My mind was filled with fear. Every small problem made me think something terrible was coming. Then I realized something important. Fear grows when you feed it. It weakens when you confront it. That lesson changed my life. As time passed, I started rebuilding. I apologized where I could. Not everyone forgave me. Some people never wanted to see me again. I do not blame them. Healing takes time. One of the most emotional moments happened when I met the businessman whose reputation had been damaged. My hands were shaking. I expected him to yell at me. Instead, he listened quietly. When I finished speaking, tears filled his eyes. He said something I will never forget. "Do you know how many nights I asked God why people hated me?" I could not answer. I just cried, because I knew I had helped create that pain. Another unforgettable moment involved the pastor. After hearing my story, he told me, "The greatest victory is not exposing darkness. The greatest victory is choosing light." Those words stayed with me. Today, whenever I share my testimony, I remember them. Because many people spend their lives searching for hidden enemies. Meanwhile, the real battle is often happening inside their minds. Think about it. How many dreams have been destroyed by fear? How many opportunities have been missed because somebody believed they were not good enough? How many families have suffered because people allowed negative voices to control them? Sometimes the most dangerous prison has no walls. It exists inside our thinking. Years after leaving that life, I met Emma again. The young woman whose confidence had been shattered. To my surprise, she had rebuilt her life. She had returned to school. She started a business. She was smiling again. As we spoke, she shared something powerful. She said, "The moment I stopped listening to negative voices was the moment my life began changing." That statement hit me deeply, because it exposed the weakness behind every so-called secret code. The code only works if someone accepts it. The moment a person rejects fear and chooses hope, everything begins to change. Today, I speak directly to you. Maybe someone has told you that you will never succeed. Maybe people have laughed at your dreams. Maybe they have spoken negative words over your future. Maybe they have tried to convince you that failure is your destiny. Do not accept those words. Other people's opinions are not your future. Fear is not your future. Hopelessness is not your future. I learned this lesson the hard way. The secret code of darkness was never mysterious symbols. It was the constant repetition of fear, doubt, confusion, envy, and discouragement. Those things destroy lives every day. But there is another code. A better code. A code of truth. A code of hope. A code of courage. A code of faith. When people speak life instead of fear, things change. When they choose forgiveness over bitterness, things change. When they reject lies and embrace truth, things change. That is what transformed my life. I still carry regret. I cannot erase the past. I cannot undo every mistake. But I can tell the truth. And the truth is this. Darkness grows where fear controls people. Light grows where truth sets people free. If you feel trapped by fear, here are the steps that help me rebuild my life. 1. Stop feeding fear. Be careful what voices you listen to every day. Not every voice deserves access to your mind. 2. Speak positive truth over yourself. Replace thoughts like "I can't" with "I will keep trying." 3. Surround yourself with encouraging people. The people around you influence your thinking more than you realize. 4. Forgive where possible. Forgiveness does not excuse wrong actions, but it prevents bitterness from controlling your future. 5. Pray and seek God's guidance. Spend time in prayer, reading scripture, and growing your faith. 6. Take action despite fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward even when fear is present. 7. Remember your value. You are not defined by what others say about you. Today, I no longer live in darkness. I no longer believe in fear. I no longer follow the secret codes that once controlled my thinking. Instead, I choose truth. I choose hope. I choose faith. And if there is one message I want you to remember after hearing my testimony, it is this. No matter what negative words have been spoken over your life, your story is not finished. The moment you reject fear and embrace truth may be the moment everything begins to change. And that is the greatest secret I have ever learned.